Hey guys, today I've got my August wrap-up. The first thing I read in August was Agatha, Raisin and the Potted Gardener by MC Beaton. This time there's a new girl in town, or village I should say. This new girl kind of made herself at home very well in the village, but then also is a little bit jarring with everyone. And Agatha's neighbour James is into gardening, and so is the new girl Mary, so Agatha's like, I need to do that. And there's a garden competition in the village, and of course Agatha is gonna cheat her way through it. And then there's a murder, and I don't know why, but I feel like this one was my favourite. I'm not sure why, there was nothing specific in it that was stand out, this one should be your favourite, but it's the one I enjoyed the most so far. The next thing I read was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander. I said I don't know whether it was the Booktubeathon wrap up or the overall July one, but reading Harry Potter made me want to read this, to be involved in the universe again. It's essentially just a textbook of magical creatures, and there's some little notes scribbled in from Ron and Harry, because this is Harry's textbook. I really like that element of it. I don't know, I found it cute. I also really like the fact that it's 1 galleon and 11 sickles. Yeah, and it was just an interesting way of immersing myself into the Harry Potter universe again. The next thing I read in August was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I picked this up when it was released, and I did not haul it at all. I also picked this one up at the same time. I don't know why I didn't put them in a book haul. Oh, I think it's because they were the only things I bought in July, and a book haul of 2 books is a bit pathetic. And I forgot to add them onto my August one. Oh well. So I was very excited when this came out, because I was like, holy crap, it's my chance to be the part of the Harry Potter fandom that gets to get a book on release day and read it and blah blah blah. Because I mean, I am of the Harry Potter generation, but I'm a bit young for when the books were being released and queuing up for them, and I also didn't get into them like that. I started reading the books when the 5th film was out, so a little bit behind. So I was excited to finally get that chance. I was just so happy when I went into Waterstones. No one was buying anything apart from this book. The queue was all the way through the store and everyone had this book. I was like, oh my god. I don't know how much talking about this is spoilers. I mean, it has been a while since it came out. This is basically about Albus and Scorpius, who are, obviously Harry's kid and Draco's kid, and their adventures in school. Their friendship is kind of you two shouldn't be friends. I really like those 2 characters. Scorpius was my all-time favourite dude ever, and he made me be woo, Slytherin. Also, this whole book kind of made me be woo, Slytherin. I kind of read this and I was properly into it. It only took me a few hours to read because I was so engrossed. I was flipping the pages, but it kind of doesn't feel like the 8th book, if that makes sense. I feel like Harry Potter ends after the 7th one quite comfortably. This one feels a little bit unnecessary, but I'm glad it exists because I like the 2 main characters a lot. Loads of people are just oh, this is just a fan fiction, it's not even written by J.K. Rowling. It does feel a little bit fanfiction-y, someone's taken the universe and made their own plot. Everyone knows it wasn't written by J.K. Rowling. It states right here, based on an original new story by J.K. Rowling, a new play by Jack Thorne. Loads of people are I can't wait to watch the play so I can read the script. I don't get why everyone is saying to watch the play first before they read the script, because in my opinion that's when you see a film first and then read the book. I don't know. Either way, reading this made me desperately want to see the play. Oh my god, I don't have tickets. I want tickets. Because some of the stage directions, the way they were described, I was trying desperately to think, how is this going to be put on stage? And I had a lecturer last year who was you can put anything on stage, and I know you can, but sometimes I struggle to imagine it. And some of the things they were talking about, especially with the whole magic element, I was how is that going to happen? How are they gonna do that? I need to see it to understand. The next thing I read was The Boy at the Top of the Mountain by John Boyne. This follows the story of Piero, who is half French, half German, living in Paris, who has lost his dad, loses his mom, and then can't stay with his neighbour and best friend Anshul. He ends up in an orphanage and then gets adopted by an aunt, and then his aunt works at, I was going to say Hitler's house, but it's not like Hitler's house, it's a place where Hitler goes, but yeah, you know what I meant. So Pierre is kind of swept up in the whole Nazi thing, and it was interesting to read about a kid being involved in this stuff. I mean, I knew all about the Hitler Youth and everything, but I'd never read anything fictional about it, I just knew the facts and stuff. So I did enjoy this. It was engaging. I did like it. Next thing I read was Agatha Raisin and the Walkers of Dembley. This time the murder is of a walker who, she's kind of like protest walking. There's walks that have been taken over by farmers who are growing stuff on them, and she's all like, no, the countryside should belong to the people. So she causes a lot of trouble really, and then gets murdered. So Agatha and James set out to investigate what's going on. This one, their relationship definitely becomes more, and also this one had an abundance of characters, which is something I always say I like, but this one had a whole Walker's society of people. And the last thing I read in August was Bird Box by Josh Malaman, and I did only just get this, but I was so excited I had to read it. So this book is about a mum and her 2 kids who are living in this world where you can't look outside because there's something there's these creatures or something where if you see them you go mad and kill yourself. So she and her kids are living their life blindfolded, and I've found it really interesting because it used the other senses a lot, because obviously sight was taken away, and I thought that was pretty cool for a book. I don't know, I thought it would be hard to do, but it was good. And there was some bits where it was really intense and my only question I have of this universe is, what about the people who were blind to start with? They were going about their everyday life, never seeing the outdoors, and then all of a sudden all the shops are not open, no one's turning up to work there, all the schools are closing, everyone's just going mad, and they're just oh, so my life has changed now, even though I was doing just fine not seeing anything. Yeah, I did enjoy this. It was intense, not as intense as I maybe thought it would have been. It wasn't constantly on edge, there was just occasional bits where you were on edge, but overall I like this book. So that's everything I read in August. If you've read any of those, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe and all that stuff, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!